Hello and welcome. Today's practice is just going to be a good all-around practice for the whole body. So if you just woke up, this is a great way to start your day, getting all the joints moving, stretching the muscles around the joints. And if you just finished working out or doing a boot camp, this will be a good practice to also just kind of release the muscles and let them rest. So we're going to start in hero pose if possible. So seated kneeling pose. I'm sitting up on a block. You might want 2 blocks. And of course, as always, if this posture is not comfortable for your knees, you could start seated cross-leg or even in a chair. We'll take a moment to just check in with our bodies and connect the body and the mind with the breath. So finding your comfortable seat, take a moment to notice all the points of contact between your body and the floor. Feel the surface beneath you supporting your body. And become aware of your breath. Breathing in through your nose as you exhale, sigh it out. Releasing the shoulders back and down. As you inhale, see if you can lift a little taller. Imagine a string lifting you up from the sternum and another string lifting the back of the head up so that the chin is parallel to the floor. And exhale the breath out. Again, inhaling through the nose and sigh it out. Let's take one more deep breath like that. And then taking a moment to scan the body for any areas of discomfort. So noticing what places in the body feel tight or tense. Maybe the knee joints, or the hips, or the back, shoulders. Checking in with the whole body. Just being present with what is and what's showing up for you this morning. And then bringing awareness back to the breath, feeling the sensation of the breath in your nose as you inhale. And as you exhale, feel that soft release, emptying all the breath out. Deep breath in through your nose. And exhale through your nose now. As you begin to soften through the shoulders, soften through the jaw. Start to find a rhythm for your breath. So maybe if you're just starting in the morning, the breath is a little sluggish, the body's a little sluggish. And if you're just coming from a workout, the breath might be quite fast. The heart might be beating pretty fast, and you're just starting to slow back down. So take a few breaths here to find a rhythm, to find a steadiness in the breath, an evenness between your inhale and your exhale. Perhaps constricting the throat gently and coming to Ujjayi breath, that ocean sounding breath. So constricting the throat on your inhale, So you can hear the breath, and on your exhale, and notice how it creates an audible breath. So the breath becomes like a metronome for our practice. Counting the beats. And it helps us also draw our awareness inward so that even when we open the eyes, and you can open the eyes now if you like, we still maintain that awareness of breath. And then beginning with the hands and the arms, we'll go ahead, bring the palms together. Interlace your fingers, press the palms out. So notice that internal rotation of your shoulders. And then inhale the arms overhead. And exhale and soften the shoulders down, soften the lower ribs in. Lengthen through the spine, inhale. And exhale the backs of the hands down to the top of your head. Let the elbows bend out to the sides. Inhale, press up again. And exhale down. And inhale, press up. Exhale down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale down. Notice if the arms are starting to get tired. One more time, inhale, press and lift. Lengthen. Exhale, release the arms out to the side and start to twist the arms in the socket. So one up, one down. One turns forward, one turns back, as if you were twisting two doorknobs. Shoulder or arm bones moving in the shoulder sockets. Gently, just noticing what's there for you. And then turn the palms up, reach the thumbs back, lift from the sternum. Big breath in, exhale, sigh it out. Notice any tension or pain in the shoulders. If it's to the point of pain or strain, then bring the arms down, maybe even into like a W shape. So release that. We don't want to go to the point of pain ever. And then bring the hands back to the heart. And from here, inhaling, start to lift the arms back up. Palms together now, and exhale down in a big circle. Palms come back together. Inhale, lift up. And exhale down. Inhale to lift up. And exhale down. You can let your head follow with the movement, warming up into the neck a little bit, inhaling and lifting up if it's okay with your neck, and exhaling chin to the chest. And one more time. Move at your pace with the rhythm of your breath. And then roll the shoulders. Continue rolling the shoulders forward, up, back and down. Let the hands rest. Breathing in as you go forward and up. Exhaling back and down. And then pause here and turn the right palm up. Elbow rests at your side. Take the left hand to the fingers and press down. Get a little stretch into your wrist. Breathe. And then you can even take each finger separately. So pressing the pinky or stretching the pinky gently. The ring finger, middle finger, index finger. You might have a little movement with the joints, the thumb. And then shake it out, and we'll go to the other side. So left palm up, elbow at your side. First stretching all the fingers, opening into the wrist here and the forearm. Nice, steady, long breaths. And then take one finger at a time. Pinky, ring finger, middle finger, first finger, And be gentle with the thumb. Maybe give a little massage to the base of the thumb and shake it out. And then interlacing your palms together once again, create a little figure 8 movement here. So just working through the hands, the wrists, and then press out once again. Inhale, reach all the way up, and exhale the arms down. As you come down, gently lift up your right knee. So stretching through the shin bone. Now, if you're not in Virasana, if you chose to sit a different way, you can do this by coming into a lunge, stepping the left foot forward, and then the right knee is down. See if you can lift that knee up, and you can stretch the top. You're trying to stretch the top of your right foot and the muscles around your shin in the front of the leg. So you could move to a lunge and try it this way. Not everyone can lift their knee, or you can do it from the seated pose Virasana, just sitting back on the heels and lifting the right knee. And you can take a break and then, release and take another breath. So noticing that stretch, this is great for runners. We're getting into preventing the shin splints, so we're getting into those muscles around the shins and the top of the foot. It's a weird little stretch, but getting into those places that are hard to get to. Go ahead and go to the other side, lift the left knee, breathe. So those of you doing this in Virasana, feel free to, hold the stretch, release, come back and do it a second time. If you are not in that seated hero pose, if that's too much on the knees, this might also be too much on the knees, with the left leg back and the right leg forward, and then lifting that knee up. And then placing it down. And so if you're in Virasana, come back to that. We're going to go ahead and come to all fours. Tuck your toes under now. I'm going to show this from the side. So coming to Thunderbolt, and if you're in your lunges, go ahead, come back to table pose. Tuck the toes under, sink your hips back towards your heels. Get that stretch in the toes, the plantar fascia. And from here, walking the hands in a little bit, start to lift your knees up, push the floor away. So get a little stretch in the spine here as you lift your knees up. Notice the back stretching. Feel the stretch in your ankle bones, not in the bones, but the muscles around the bones. And release back down. And then from your table pose here, coming into a couple of cat-cows, so moving through the spine. Inhale, look forward, arch your spine. Exhale, draw the belly in and round. Maybe start to sink the hips back a little bit. So move in a way that feels good for you here. Inhaling, rocking forward, arching the spine, lifting the tailbone. Exhale, engage your belly, draw the belly in, maybe sink the hips back a little bit. See what feels good for your back, your low back. So we're moving into a little pelvic rocking, some arching of the spine, some flexion. Start to sink your hips back towards your heels. Gently awakening the spine. And exhaling, drawing the belly in and sinking back. Maybe coming all the way back to child's pose this time. And if you want a little tricep stretch, you can take the prayer hands. So walking your elbows forward, bringing the hands to the back of your head. And when you get there, maybe you can walk the left elbow a little more forward, the right elbow a little more forward. Feel that stretch in the tricep muscles and breathe. Breathe into the upper back. And then bring those hands forward. Let's come all the way down into Sphinx pose. So on the elbows first, forearms down. Actively draw the front of your mat towards you. Lift and lengthen your spine. So a little gentle back bend here. You shouldn't feel any crunching sensation here. Think about lengthening through the spine, creating space between the vertebrae. And if you feel like any pinching there, you could maybe draw the belly in and come into a little baby forearm plank with the knees down, just to release that and lengthen there. Otherwise, just letting the pelvis rest, arching through the spine. You can also come down a little lower if that helps, if there's any pinching, what we call TV watching pose. So maybe remembering doing this as a child watching TV. Take a breath here. Notice the sensation in your back. We're just preparing our back for a little deeper back bend. Letting the muscles of the spine know where we're heading. And then gently come all the way down. You can turn your head if that's comfortable, or the forehead to the mat. Bring your hands under the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back and down. Press down through the tops of your feet. Engage your outer ankles. So you're rolling the outer ankles in. And inhale, start to lift your head and your chest. Breathe here. Little baby cobra. Exhale, come back down and rest. Again, when you're ready, roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale into cobra pose. Elbows in tight. Exhale and come all the way down. Resting there. When you're ready, we'll do it one more time. So remember, engage your inner thighs back and apart, so there's a sense of the inner thighs moving this way, outward, and yet the ankles are moving inward. That's really important because you don't want the feet to flop out. You want strong legs as you inhale and lift into your cobra, maybe coming higher. And exhale, pull the belly in. Use your belly muscles to draw back, so there's no we're not overusing the lower back muscles. Go ahead and tuck your toes here. Make sure the hands are forward a little bit. Press through the base of your index finger and your thumb. Lift your hips into downward facing dog. First down dog of the day. Maybe you want to bend one knee and then the other. Again, remember this is your practice. So feeling in for what your body wants. And feeling that stretch in the backs of the legs. And then inhale, look forward between your hands. As you exhale, walk your feet up to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen your spine. And exhale to fold. Feel that stretch in the backs of your legs. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen your spine. Feel that stretch in the lower back, into the glutes and down the legs. And exhale to fold. So as you fold, the knees might be bent deeply if the hamstrings are tight. We haven't done a lot yet with the hammies. We will get there. Inhale, lift halfway. You might feel that stretch here. Exhale, fold. From here, hands to the either side of the feet. Step that right foot back. Scoot the left foot forward so that the knee's in line with the ankle. Bring the right knee down. So we're coming back to that lunge. Inhale, lift all the way up. And exhale. As you exhale, grab that right wrist and take a little side bend to the left. If you feel unsteady, you could have a block here. Place the left hand on the block and just reach. So you're taking a big side bend. First side bend of the day. And come all the way back. And from here, inhale, lift from your sternum. So look forward, don't dump down, don't cave in. As you exhale, start to straighten your left leg. So flexing that foot, coming into the half split. Stretching through that hamstring. Inhale, lift again, lengthen through your spine. As you exhale, maybe you find more space to fold, maybe you don't. Maybe you're way up on blocks. This is another good pose where you can use those blocks. Don't get caught up in your microphone. So notice my wrists are in line with my shoulders. My front foot's flexed, drawing back towards me, lengthening from the spine. You can stay here. You're going to feel that in your hamstring. If you want more, you start to fold forward. Breathe as you exhale. I just felt my quad release. So check in. Notice what you feel in your body. Use the breath to release. Be careful you're not rounding forward. And then we'll walk the hands forward, bend that front knee, and you can step back to downward facing dog if you want, or you could step the left foot back to table. Tuck the back toes under if you're gonna step back. And we're gonna switch sides, so it's nice to stretch in the middle. Step the right foot forward, left knee down. Come to the other side and pause. Inhale here, lifting from your sternum. Let that left muscle, the front of the left leg stretch, or iliopsoas. Go ahead, come all the way up. Grabbing the left wrist now, take a side bend to the right. Same thing if you want to take your hand to your waist or to a block, you can do that as well. Big breath in. And exhale, come forward. Breathe here, stretching the front of the left leg. You can try that little trick lifting the knee up if you like. And then we'll start to straighten the front leg, shifting the hips back, walking the blocks back. If you're using blocks, if you can reach the floor, you don't need blocks. Either way, maybe you have the blocks on the highest level. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward and fold. Breathe. And again, noticing if that fold is too much, just stay lifted and just notice the sensation, the stretch of the hamstring muscle. Drawing that foot back, the back of the calf muscle. And then shifting forward, we'll bring the weight forward again. Tuck your back toe under. This time step forward again. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen your spine. Exhale and fold, both legs stretch. Inhale here, lift up halfway. You can use your blocks if you like. Step your left foot behind your right. And exhale and fold, and if you can find more space to fold. So notice the stretch more, a little bit more into the left IT band. So the leg that's in the back is getting a little more stretch, and maybe you don't need blocks. Notice if you get dizzy, bring your head below your heart, then you want to come up and keep the head in line or above the heart. And then if you're in the forward fold, go ahead and lift halfway because we're going to switch sides. You're going to step it out, find your balance, and then step the left foot over the right. So try to line up your pinkies if you can so you're not way far forward. You want the feet pretty much parallel if possible so that you get a little more now into the right IT band, the outer part of the right leg. Exhale, you can fold back down. Inhale, lift halfway, uncross the legs. Sink your hips back into a squat. So coming to that chair pose, reach your arms out, breathe. And inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. Let's come back to that squat. So from here, inhale the arms. Exhale, sit into chair pose. So notice this is a great posture for strengthening the quads. But you're also getting a nice stretch here in the glutes. So you can pause, you can hang out with the hands on the thighs if the arms are tired, or reach forward, engage your core, breathe. Can you take another breath or two here? Strengthening the muscles around the knees and ankles. Inhale to rise and exhale, hands to your heart. I'm just going to check in. Breathe in your mountain pose. I want to make sure that the camera angle is still good for standing. So let's just check that. Oh, good. Okay, great. Looks like we've got it. So from your standing mountain pose, root down through your feet. Remember pressing outer ankles in, inner ankles out. Draw the belly in, lengthen through the tailbone. And then interlace your hands behind you and inhale and lift from your sternum. Maybe lift up a little Coming into a little back bend, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, once again, forward fold. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. Bring the arms back behind you. Lift those hands up if you can, away from you, away from your head. This is another one, if you get dizzy folding forward, you might want to skip. And then while we're here, switch the thumb that's on top. Switch the cross of your hands. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And bringing the hands back towards your tailbone. Inhale halfway, press down through your feet, and come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Breathe here. Pause and check in. So from here we'll come to Ardha Uttanasana. I'm just going to face you, but from your mountain pose, inhale the arms overhead, and we'll take that side bend to the right. So maybe you just bring the right arm down and reach the left, or you can do it with arms together and give a little pull here, or even take the wrists like we did earlier, turn the palm up. So maybe try something different today. Root down through your left foot, feel that big stretch in the side body. And exhale, come all the way up. Switch sides, so grabbing that right wrist, inhale, and exhale over to the other side, to the left. Root down through your right foot, take another breath. Remember, you can always keep the bottom arm down. Take the version that feels right for you. And come all the way back up, breathe here, palms to the heart. So from here, let's go ahead and step the feet a little wider now, wider than your mat, or the long way on your mat rather. Take a wide leg stance, relax the shoulders back and down, check in. We'll go ahead and reach the arms out to five-pointed star. Turn your left toes out, right toes in a little bit. Start to bend the left knee, finding warrior two. So feel for the engagement of the muscles here, up and in. The belly tucks in, lengthen through the tailbone. Maybe even lifting the front heel off the floor so you can bend the knee a little deeper. Reach through the fingers. And then bring that heel down. Take the right hand to the back leg and inhale left arm up so you get that nice big stretch here. Breathe in, reverse warrior. And exhale through center, left forearm to the front thigh. Now taking the right arm down and then circling it up, opening the chest to the side. Find that side angle pose. Stretching all the way from the outer edge of your foot through your fingertips. Breathe. And inhale, come all the way back to warrior two where we started. Keep the belly firm. From here, we're going to cartwheel the hands down, so you can take that arm down. You can turn your back heel up. Bring the right hand to the floor, left hand to the floor. Now we're in a runner's lunge. Bring your left hand inside the left foot. Walk the left foot over a little. Find lizard pose, a little opening of the hips here. Breathe. You can stay here. If it's too much on your hands, you might take some of that pressure off by bringing your knee down. Some of you might be able to come onto your forearms. If that's too much, you could also bring the floor up by using blocks. And you might choose to roll onto the pinky toe side of your foot. So I'll show it this way. To come back into my lunge, the left foot comes over, hands inside the leg, taking that nice big stretch. You can even walk your hands over to the right a little bit more. So feel in for that. You know, lizard is one of my favorite poses, and you can really kind of play around with it here. So, but the way to do that is tune into your body. Be mindfully aware of what your body wants right now. And then walk those hands back over. Bring that foot inside in between the hands. Knee is in line with the ankle. We want to have that good alignment for the knee joint. Tuck your back toe, lift that knee up if you brought it down. And then walk the hands all the way back over, coming back to a wide leg forward fold. Bringing your hands to the waist. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. So we're going to go to the other side. I'm going to show this. If you want, you can step the feet together and pause for a moment. I'm going to turn around just so I can show it from the other direction. So starting from your wide leg again, we're going to turn right toes out, left toes in, and start to bend that front knee. So whenever we move around the mat, sometimes you have to kind of feel in, if this doesn't quite feel like a wide enough stance, maybe you take your foot a little more to the right or change the angle of your back foot, but start to sink in. You can also try lifting the heel like we did before, and then circling the arms down and up, reaching out, extending. Imagine all the energy in your body just shooting out through your fingers. Draw your belly in, lengthen through your tailbone. And then if your heel's lifted, bring it down. Maybe you find you have a little more length in the legs. Take the left arm down and reach the right arm over your ear, big stretch. It's a great one to do at the wall as well. And then coming all the way back, forearm to the thigh, reach that left arm over your ear and breathe. Again, energy is just shooting all the way out through the fingertips. So keeping the body, when we pay attention, instead of just doing these poses, and I know you guys know these postures, sometimes when things are familiar to us, we just kind of sloppily just kind of hang out, whatever, the arms bent. Feel that energy reaching through the arm while you draw the shoulder, the arm bone down and in. Feel for what's going on there. And then inhale, come all the way up, warrior two. Draw the belly in. Exhale, bring both hands down to the floor, turn the back heel up, bring the right hand inside the leg. We're going to come to lizard, walk the right foot over to the right. I'm going to switch to my other mat so you can see, but you stay where you are. You can use your blocks if you want. If it's too much on the hands, if you have arthritis, maybe you can come onto your forearms or onto fists even. Or bringing the knee down helps, because some of that weight, instead of pressing back, the knee takes a little more of the weight. So if you don't have good knees, you might want to keep the knee lifted. So make the adjustments that work for you. Maybe you walk the hands over a little more to the left, or even roll onto the outside of the foot, a deeper stretch for the hip and the thigh. That doesn't feel good to me, so I'm going to stay right here. But you take the version that feels good for you. So pay attention, feel for what sensation you're feeling here and here. Breathe. Oftentimes injuries occur when we're not paying attention. We're just doing something because we're watching the teacher, or we're just going through the motions of the practice and not really listening to our bodies. So when you're ready, lift that back knee up if you have it down, and we'll just start to walk the hands for the center. We'll come to that wide leg and forward fold again. When you get there, inhale, lift halfway, lengthen your spine. When you exhale, forward fold. And breathe. From here, inhale, lift halfway again. Walk your hands over to your left foot. Take your right arm, thread it underneath. See if you can grab the outside of that leg and take a little twist here. Again, getting into the back body. And I'll show this in the other direction. So you're crossing underneath, coming into a twist. And release back to center. Inhale here, lift halfway. You can come up to your fingertips if you want. Exhale, fold. Take that, start to walk over to the right foot, take that left arm and thread it underneath. See if you can grab your shin. Come into the twist on the other side. Looking up underneath your armpit. Deep breath in and exhale it out. And relax the hands back to center. Hands to your waist or out to the sides. Inhale, lift all the way up to the sky. Exhale the hands to the heart. Step your feet back in mountain pose. Notice how you feel. And then inhaling the arms up. Maybe lift your heels off the floor As you exhale, heels can come down, or try a little balance here. See if you can come down on the balls of your feet, but sink your hips back so your knees aren't taking the weight as you come down, or they're not taking all the weight anyway. And then we'll come to sit on our bums. And from here, let's bring the soles of the feet together into Baddha Konasana. Shifting the hips forward so the heels are in line with the groin. Or if you prefer, you can keep distance here, more this diamond shape. So again, feel in for what feels right for you. This is Tarasana, when we forward fold. Actually, the full pose, they take the arms underneath and fold forward. So if you want to try that, that's the tortoise. You're welcome to do that. However, those of us who have a little less range of motion, we can take the hands behind and lift up from the sternum. Again, remember, if you're rounding in your lower back, we don't want to have back pain there. You could sit up on a blanket, and that will help to tilt the pelvis forward. And then once you've got that lift, taking the hands to the shins, breathe in, and as you exhale, hinge forward any amount. So it might just be a centimeter or two. Feel in, so we're looking forward, but our brain, our mind is thinking about our low back. What's going on back there? If there's pain, you don't go forward, you're just gonna sit up. If you have more room to fold, then you can come down farther. But do what feels right for you. Sometimes when I'm in this posture, I like to give myself a little foot massage. So you take the thumbs and work into the arches of the feet. So there's so many little acupressure points there. Really feels good. Maybe even stretch the toes a little more. This is also a great way to do it if you can't do Thunderbolt, the posture that we did earlier, to stretch the feet and the fascia. I have extremely different feet because I've had surgery on this one. So these are all these little things that you kind of pick up and notice as you're going through your practice. And it may be the same for you, that one side, most of us have one side that has either sustained an injury, or that's just a different shape or a different size than the other. So, or maybe we use one side more than the other. And then when you're ready, gently come all the way up. We'll go ahead and take the right leg out. Bring the sole of the left foot in towards your right thigh. And then we're going to turn to face that left knee. Your right hand's going to come inside the right leg. And then inhale, start to open up the left side body, maybe looking up to the sky here. Take that left hand, you could take it behind your head or even to your shoulder, and just start to reach out with this right hand as far as you can go. So whatever your limit is. Relax your head. Notice if there's any discomfort there, you can lengthen through the back of your neck. Some of you might be able to take that arm over your ear. And if you remember, it might be easy to sweep the arm this way, so we internally rotate and then open up the chest. You might be able to grab onto your foot or your shin, or just leave your hand on the floor. So wherever it goes. Some of you might be much, much more lifted. Think more about opening the chest than trying to reach your foot. Sometimes people try so hard to reach the foot, and we're doing this kind of thing. So what we're trying to do here is open the chest and the side body. One more breath. And exhale it out. Slowly come all the way back up. Draw your left knee in. So that left foot is now right inside the thigh, but the knee is up. I'm going to face you this way. We're going to come into a twist. So wrap that right arm around your left knee. Sit up tall. Breathe in. And exhale, take the left hand behind you, a little twist here. Keep your right foot engaged, keep your right foot flexed. And switch it out. So we'll go ahead and extend the left leg, take it out to the side. Bend the right knee, bring the sole of the foot inside the thigh. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to turn towards the knee. Left hand touches the floor inside the leg. Inhale, lift from your sternum, and as you exhale, start to hinge towards the leg. And we're going to reach that right arm over our ear. Some of you might prefer to have it behind the head, but try to Reach the elbow up to the sky. Don't let it bring you forward. Remember, we're opening the chest. And some of you might just take the fingertips to the shoulder, or even take the arm behind your back. An option I didn't give you on the other side. You could do a half bind, reaching the fingers towards your waist. Be mindful of your neck. So you can kind of let the head go and stretch through the top side of the neck, but make sure there's no crunching going on. You might want to tuck your chin slightly. So you could also be here. Some of you might be able to reach your toe, but there's no prize for getting there. Don't force it. Breathe. Big breath in. Exhale, reach a little longer. Another breath in, and exhale, come all the way up. And then from here, we'll start to bring that right knee up so that the sole of the foot is on the floor. I'm gonna turn to face you. So left leg is more forward. You're gonna walk that leg in, root down through the thigh and the shin, flex the foot. Right foot inside the left thigh. Wrap your left arm around that shin and knee. Right hand behind you, sit up nice and tall, big breath in, and exhale as you twist. And then notice, like my left leg just wants to hang out, but I'm gonna keep it flexed so that both legs are engaged. Breathe in and exhale it out. And then come back to your center, straighten both legs, shake it out. If you have a strap, here's where we can take that strap around the balls of both feet and sit up nice and tall. If you don't have a strap, sit up tall. You might want your blanket to support your hips and tilt the pelvis forward again. Find that tall posture, no rounding in the lower back. That's not allowed. And then root down through your thighs and your shins, flex your feet. Big breath in. If you don't have a strap, you're just going to take the arms up. Create some space here and exhale and hinge forward any amount. Maybe the hands come down to the shins or the floor. Take another big breath in, lift up a little bit, and exhale and fold. If you've got your strap, you're just going to use that as you come forward. And you can take another breath. You can inhale and lift up. Exhale, maybe find more space. Breathe here. Inhale, come all the way back up. Remove your strap, put that to the side. We're going to come onto our backs now and roll onto your back. If it feels good, so we've done all that stretching, you might want to do a little rock and roll so that you come onto your back and with the force of the motion, roll up and back. If that doesn't feel good, just come onto your back and pause. Sometimes it feels good to just let all that out. And then roll all the way back. Inhale your arms overhead. Excuse me. As you exhale, bring the arms down, draw the knees in, and straighten the legs up to the sky. So inhaling, bring your feet back down, knees are bent, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, arms come down, legs go up. Inhale, feet come down, arms go up. And exhale, arms down, feet go up. And then bring those legs in, hug your knees in, rock a little bit side to side. Take your left foot down and we're going to extend the right leg. So here you can press that leg into your hand, flex your foot. If you have the strap, you can take the strap around the ball of the foot. If you have a loop, you can also take it that way. So there's lots of ways to do it. But you don't want it way down on your ankle. The more you have it on the ball of the foot, you don't want it on the toes because it'll slip off. Put it on the ball of the foot and you'll feel it also in the back of the calf. But make sure as you flex that foot, you're not hyperextending your knee. So feel for that. If you need to take the leg away from you a little bit, you can. Stretching through the back of that leg and use your breath here. Deep breath in as you exhale. Maybe it comes a little bit closer towards you. If you want to go deeper, you can try straightening the left leg away from you, even placing your left hand on top of the thigh as a little weight there. And if that's too much, just keep the knee bent and the foot on the floor. Take another breath or two here. And then release that strap, bend the knee, bring that right foot on top of the thigh. Take your right hand inside that thigh and just gently press. So opening this hip, breathe. You can stay here, or if you want more, you can start to draw that left foot up off the floor. Draw the left thigh towards you and interlace your hands behind the thigh. Come into a little sleeping pigeon. Take a couple breaths here. Try to keep both feet flexed and the muscles of the legs engaged. And then bring that left foot back down to the floor. Keep your right leg where it is. We're going to drop both legs over to the left. We're going to end in a little twist here, and then we'll do the whole sequence on the other side. So encourage this right knee to point up towards the ceiling. Don't draw it towards you. Instead, encourage it like sort of away from you. You might even press into your thigh. If you're able to, depending on the length of your arms and your torso, you might be able to grab your your right ankle with your left hand. And it just helps to stabilize the foot there. You can do a little resistance almost by resisting the foot into the hand. It doesn't actually go anywhere. I can show you better on the other side. But notice the stretch, getting into the piriformis, gluteal muscles. Breathe. And to come up, we're just going to press down on the mat with our left leg, and that'll give us a little momentum to come up. Uncross your leg. If you like, you can take the feet a little wider, do a little windshield wiper thing in between the sides. I felt something release there. And then walk your feet back in, and we're going to come to left leg straight. So either taking the hands, interlacing your hands behind your thigh, flexing that foot, or you can take your strap, if you have one, around the foot. Starting to turn your heel in slightly, toes out slightly. So that just rotates the femur bone and the hip socket. Again, notice, check yourself. Check where's the placement of your strap. Is it around the ball of the foot? Are you getting this sensation in your calf? Is it too much on your knee? Maybe you need to take the leg away from you. Don't hyperextend. What are you feeling in your hip? So feeling in for all those things. Maybe you don't feel much sensation at all. You can go ahead and straighten your right leg, and that will increase the stretch. Placing your right hand on top. Keep that leg engaged. I'm really mindful for what you're feeling in your body right now. And then using your breath, use the exhale to soften in. When you're ready, you can gently release the strap, bend your knee in. Bring that right foot back onto the floor. Take the left foot on top of your, just above your right knee, and gently press out into the thigh. So really feel for the hips being symmetrical here. You might choose to stay here, or you might lift the right foot off the floor and interlace your hands behind your thigh, or even your shin if you can grab your shin. Breathe. Keep both feet flexed. And right away, your awareness goes, oh, is my foot flexed? Feel a stretch in the left hip. When you're ready, you can bring that right foot down. Keep the legs where they are, left leg where it is. We're just going to drop both legs over to the right until the sole of that foot hits the floor. If it doesn't quite make it there, you can always put a block underneath your foot. Do I even have one around me? Show you. So when you drop those feet over, you can always not go as far. Bring the floor up. Remember, blocks bring the floor up closer. So bring the floor up closer to your foot if you want. Now, if your arm is as long or longer than your torso, you might be able to grab your ankle. If you have short arms and a long torso, it might be a little bit harder to reach. So, or if you're just tight. But notice knee is still pointing up to the ceiling, and I'm sort of resisting because I can hold my ankle with my hand, I'm kind of pressing into my hand a little bit. And I can really feel that sensation in my piriformis muscle and the glutes. Breathe in and breathe out. Use the exhale to encourage release there in that hip. And then draw both legs back up by pressing into the floor. Release the leg, bend both knees, rock a little side to side, let go of tension lower back. You can circle your knees here together or apart, whatever feels better. And start to circle in the other direction. And then start to set up for Shavasana. So if there's any other stretch you need before we quiet the body and the mind, you could do that now if you need a happy baby or you just want to take your legs back up. And then bending your knees. Maybe you just want to stay here, walk the feet apart and let the knees fall together and the hands can rest on the belly or at the sides. Or straightening the legs, maybe putting a little knee support, a little support under the knees. A pillow or a rolled blanket and a nice blanket under your head for support. So find your comfortable posture of rest. Take a moment to really integrate the practice. So I always suggest taking time for final rest or for meditation. Take a moment once you're settled and notice all the points of contact between your back body and the floor. Take a deep breath in, just like we did in the beginning, and exhale and sigh it out. Imagine all those points of contact dropping in, letting go. Take 2 more breaths like that, inhaling through your nose, exhaling and dropping in. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling. Get heavy here. Just let the earth support you and hold your body. Imagine someone going around and just placing little weights on the shoulder, weights maybe in the creases of the elbows, weights in the palms of the hands, weights on the hip bones, the tops of the thighs, and around the ankles. But they're comfortable weights, maybe like a weighted blanket. Sandwiched between a weighted blanket and the floor, completely supported. Breathe here and rest in this sense of ease. Let your breath flow freely through you now. Bring awareness back to those places that were tight at the beginning of practice. And notice if there's been any sense of release. Breathe into those places. Send breath there now. Exhale and release and soften in. Continue to take several more breaths like that. Using the breath to encourage a sense of relaxation in the body. And then begin to feel the breath in the whole body as you breathe in through your nose. Sense the whole body expanding, and as you exhale, the whole body softening. And breathing in a sense of wellness and wholeness. Exhaling, letting go, releasing in. Take another deep breath in and pause at the top of the breath. As you exhale, let go of anything else that isn't serving you right now. Become aware of the breath in your nostrils, the breath in your belly and your chest. Feel the temperature of the air on your skin. The texture of the clothes on your body. Become present with the sounds in the room around you. Notice the outline of the body on the floor. Breathing in all the way out to the edges of the body. As you exhale, start to bring movements back in, maybe wiggling your fingers and your toes. And on your next breath, maybe taking a larger movement, reaching the arms out to the side if appropriate, or over your head. Maybe stretching the hands away from the feet. And on your exhale, drawing inward, rolling to your side. Either side. Take a moment there to pause. Feel the earth beneath you. Get grounded and centered. And when you're fully present, using your hands, gently walk yourself back to a comfortable seat. Any comfortable seat. And bringing the hands together in front of the heart, take a moment to check in again. Notice if anything has shifted or changed in the body, the mind, and the breath. Taking a deep breath in, lifting the heart to the mind, and exhale and dropping the mind to the heart. Offer yourself a moment of gratitude, taking this time for self-care. And take that gratitude and compassion and awareness out into the world and into your day. Namaste. And thank you.